Hello everyone, welcome to the Daily Current Affair Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy 28th and 29th April 2025. Displayed here are the list of articles that we will be discussing. The first topic, Cucumber Mosaic Virus. The second topic, PM eDrive Initiative. The third topic, Cheetah. The fourth topic, Clean AI. And the fifth topic, Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction Treaty or the High Seas Treaty. And without much delay, let's get into our discussion with the first topic. Before getting into the discussion, there is an important announcement from Shankar IAS Academy. Shankar IAS Academy's All India Mock Test UPSC Prelims will be held in the following days. The link for the registration is available in the website. Do register and take the test. Now we will begin with the first topic. RNA-based antiviral offers strong defense against the deadly agrivirus. The article is taken from The Hindu. Why we are discussing this article today? Because a group of scientists from the Martin Luther University in Germany, they developed an RNA-based antiviral to protect the plants against the cucumber mosaic virus. So what is the relevance of the study? You can see that controlling the virus infection is much more difficult than controlling bacterial infection or fungal infection. And if you take the estimation of this United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, you can see that because of this plant pest and disease, we are losing around $220 billion every year, and among them this plant virus infections because of this plant's virus contributes over $30 billion losses every year. So coming to this mosaic virus, cucumber mosaic virus, this virus was actually discovered in the year 1916, and this mainly affects this cucumber and muskmelon, but it not only affects these two plants, it can infect over 1200 plus plant species. And in the case of tomato, if it is affecting the tomato, this can lead to, not only in the case of tomato, generally if this infection is affecting the plants, it can lead to stunted growth, low yield, deformation of the plant, and this virus has a potential to transmit rapidly from one plant to another. Therefore it can even lead to mass loss of cropping. And in the case of tomato, it brings a condition known as shoestring syndrome, which means it will severely deforms the tomato leaf. So before understanding about the study done by the scientists from the Martin Luther University, we have to understand some basic difference between the DNA and RNA. We know that DNA, it acts as a blueprint. That means it is storing the genetic information about an organism, while this RNA, it is acting like a messenger because it is carrying instructions from the DNA to help production of the protein. And if you take the structural difference between the DNA and RNA, you can see that this is the structural difference, because DNA, it has a helix like structure because you can see it has double stranded, while this RNA, it is single stranded. Therefore the DNA is more stable while RNA, it is less stable, and this DNA is less reactive while this RNA is more reactive. So coming to the sugar content in the DNA and RNA, you can see that in DNA it has deoxyribose sugar, which means it is less active, less reactive. And what is this deoxyribose sugar? Because if you remove the hydroxy group from the ribose sugar content, then you will get this deoxyribose sugar. And in the case of RNA, they have ribose sugar, which is more reactive. And coming to the bases content in the DNA and RNA, you can see that in DNA they have adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. In the case of RNA, they have adenine, uracil, guanine, and cytosine. So coming to the stability, we can see that because of the structure, the DNA is very stable while the RNA is less stable. And lifespan, DNA can live longer while RNA for a short period of time. And coming to the location, DNA, it is located in nucleus, while RNA, it is located between the nucleus and the cytoplasm. So what is this new study? To understand about this, we have to understand how the scientists dealt with the plant infection before. That means what was the old method. So in the old method, the scientists will randomly select double-stranded DNA, and then this double-stranded DNA will enter into the plant's body and will trigger the defense system, and it will protect the plant from the any type of infection. But the problem is this double-stranded RNA produced many non-functional small interfering RNAs, which is leading to less effective immune response. So this fault was fixed in the new method, where the scientists will select the powerful small interfering RNAs, and through engineering they will convert the small interfering RNAs into double-stranded RNAs, which will provide more precising, which can act effectively against the virus. So coming to the advantages of this new method, you can see that precise attack. So that is a first major advantage of this new method. And the next is stronger defense. That means now the double-stranded RNAs can attack the virus from multiple regions. Therefore, it will not give the virus enough time to mutate. And the next is faster updates. That means we can develop a new double-stranded RNA within a month. And the next is better protection. That means this, as per this new method, we can lower the viral load up to 80%, and sometimes it can even offer full protection against infection. And the next is wider application, because this method can be also used for neutralizing viruses, fungi, bacteria, and other type of pest. So these are the these are the advantages of this new method. So coming to the prelims practice question. So the question is, with reference to the RNA and DNA, consider the following statements. Statement 1, RNA is a double stranded like DNA. Statement 2, RNA is generally less stable than DNA. Statement 3, DNA carries genetic information permanently, while the RNA mainly helps in protein production. Which of the above statements is or are correct? Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 1 and 3 only, and option D 1, 2 and 3. See, the correct answer is option B 2 and 3 only. The first statement is incorrect. The RNA is not a double stranded structure like the DNA. It is single stranded structure. That's why the RNA is less stable than the DNA. So anyway, we'll check the answer. The correct answer is option B 2 and 3 only. So with this, we will move to the next article. PM E-Drive scheme, Center targets 5-day turnaround for EV subsidy claims. The article is taken from Business Standard. Why we are discussing this article? Because the Ministry of Heavy Industries is expediting the EV subsidy disbursement under the PM E-Drive initiative. So with an objective to reduce the processing time for the EV subsidy claims from 40 days to 5 days. So coming to the subsidy under the PM E-Drive, we know that subsidies are nothing but the financial assistance provided by a government to reduce the cost of a service or a product. So once the cost is reduced, the more people will purchase it. So here, to understand the subsidy working under the PM E-Drive, we have to understand about the stakeholders involved in the subsidy scheme. First is the Industries Finance Corporation of India. Second is the Ministry of Heavy Industries, and the third is the Vahan portal under the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. So this Vahan portal will act as a data collector. It will collect the data of the user, and then it will be forwarded to the Industries Finance Corporation of India. They will verify and they will forward the claims to the Ministry of Heavy Industries, and the Ministry of Heavy Industries will process the payment through the public finance management system, and they will disperse to the user. So what is the current issue? The first major issue is the backlog of the subsidy claims. That means to verify and forward the claims from IFCI to the Ministry of Heavy Industries, it is taking around 40+ days. So this is resulting in burden and a backlog of subsidy claims. And the next major issue is the mismatch in the Aadhaar authentication. That means the mismatch in the Aadhaar-based phase authentication sometimes results in rejection of the subsidy claim. So coming to the basic details about the PM E-Drive initiative, the name of the scheme is PM E-Drive. So it is PM Electric Drive Revolution in Innovative Vehicle Enhancement, and the nodal ministry is the Ministry of Heavy Industries, and the target vehicles. This program is exclusively focusing on electric two-wheelers and electric three-wheelers. And what is the subsidy details? So as per the finance year 2025, you can claim 5,000 rupees per kilowatt hour of battery, and the maximum you can claim is 10,000 rupees per vehicle. And the next is the subsidy details. As of finance year 2026, you can claim up to 2,500 per kilowatt hour, and the maximum you can claim is 5,000 per vehicle. So coming to the authentication method, you can see that the Aadhaar-based authentication is used, and currently it has a challenge, that is mismatch between the data, the present data, and the data in the Aadhaar database. So this is leading to rejection of the subsidy claims. And the next is as of 2025 finance year, the current the sales target is 1.2 million units. And coming to the new step taken is that speeding up processing time between the Industries Finance Corporation and the Ministry of Heavy Industries. So for that, now the government is also considering development of a new software to make the process more faster. And another feature is the issue of the e-voucher. That means after the successful face authentication, an e-voucher will be issued, and this is necessary for claiming the subsidy. And coming to the difference between the FAME 2, and currently the FAME 2 is going on, and the PM E-Drive. So FAME 2, we know that the faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles, and the PM E-Drive, both are giving importance to electric vehicles. So what is the difference between the two initiatives? Coming to the case of this FAME 2, you can see that it covers buses, four-wheelers and infrastructure related to the electric vehicle, while the PM E-Drive is exclusively focusing on electric two-wheelers and electric three-wheelers. And coming to the subsidy, you can see that the FAME offers higher amount of subsidy, while the subsidy rates are reduced under the PM E-Drive. And the FAME, it is launched in 2019, and currently we are in the phase 2 of the FAME, and this program, that is PM E-Drive, it is launched in 2024. So coming to the importance of the PM E-Drive, you can see that it plays a significant role in achieving India's net zero emission 2070. We are committed to net zero 2070. At the same time, this initiative is also supporting India's electric vehicle ecosystem and green mobility transition. We know that the transition to the green energy is considered as one of the important pillars to achieve the Vikasit Bharat 2047. To understand about its importance, please go through the latest edition of Yojana. It is talking about the union budgeting. So please go through that. The first chapter itself is talking about the importance of transition to the green energy. So we will practice a prelims question related to this topic. The question is, with reference to the PM E-Drive initiative, consider the following statements. Statement 1, it provides subsidy support only to electric two-wheelers and three-wheelers. And statement 2, the subsidy amount under the scheme is 5,000 per vehicle irrespective of the battery size. And statement 3, Aadhaar-based face authentication is mandatory for availing the subsidy. And statement 4, the initiative is aimed at supporting India's target of achieving net zero emission 2050. Which of these statements above is or are correct? Option A 1 and 3 only, option B 2 and 4 only, and option C 1, 2 and 4 only, and option D 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the question is asking about the correct statements. So here you can see that it is not supporting India's net emission, net zero emission 2050. It is supporting net zero 2070. Therefore, the statement 4 is incorrect. So if you eliminate the fourth statement itself, you can reach the correct answer. The correct answer is option A 1 and 3 only. The statement 2 is also incorrect. Let me check the answer. Yes, the correct option is option A 1 and 3 only. So with this, we will move to the next article. Cheetah gives birth to 5 cubs at the Kuno National Park. The article is taken from the Hindu. We know that the last cheetah recorded in India was in the year 1950. After that, we declared that the cheetah population got extinct. And after years, that is in the year 2023, the government of India reintroduced the cheetah from the Namibia, and we reintroduced them in the Kuno National Park. And now the cheetah Nirva gave birth to 5 cubs in the national park. So let us discuss more about this national park and the cheetah from the prelims point of view. So coming to the cheetah, we can see that the scientific name is Echinonyx jubatus, and they are considered as vulnerable in the UCN status. And coming to the CITES status, they are protected under Appendix 1, which strictly bans international trade of the species except under certain circumstances. And coming to the habitat, they usually lives in the grasslands and the savanna. We know that the savanna or grasslands, they are the biomes which is located between the between the tropical rainforest and desert. And coming to the certain unique factors, they are the fastest land animal. They can run up to 120 km per hour. And unlike other big cats, the cheetahs won't roar. And the next is, they are usually non-aggressive towards humans, and they usually prefer fight or flight in certain circumstances. And coming to the subspecies of cheetah, the northwestern African cheetah, they are known as Echinonyx jubatus ecki. They are considered as critically endangered in the UCN status. And the next we have the East African cheetah. They are known as Echinonyx jubatus personi. They are considered as vulnerable. And then we have the South African cheetah. They are considered as Echinonyx jubatus. They are considered as vulnerable in the UCN status. Then we have the Northeastern African cheetah. They are considered as vulnerable. Their scientific name is Echinonyx jubatus sumerenki. And then we have the Asiatic cheetah. Currently, this Asiatic cheetah can be found only in the central Iran. And only 10 to 80 individuals are there. And currently they are considered as critically endangered in the IUCN status. So coming to the threats faced by the cheetah, you can see that first is habitat loss and fragmentation. Habitat loss because of the climate change, expansion of industrial towns and human settlements. This results in habitat loss. And the next is a decline in the wild prey. We know that change in the climate, or change in the river course, or change in the availability of the food. So based on this, the animals will move from one region to another region. Sometimes this will reduce the availability of the prey to predators like cheetah. And the next is human wildlife conflict. We know that the expansion of the human settlement, industrial towns, brings the human and the animal in direct contact. Sometimes it can result into a man-animal conflict. And next we have the infrastructure development. Like I mentioned, the expansion of the industries, mega development projects can sometimes affect the habitat of the different species. And the next is the like I mentioned, the last cheetah population was found in the year 1950 in the case of India, and you can see that after that the cheetah population not only in India, around the world, it got significantly reduced, and now we can see that the strong population of the cheetah is found in the southern and the eastern Africa. And coming to the case of this Asiatic cheetah, you can see that they are considered as critically endangered, and only 12 to 80 individuals are there, and they are confined to the central Iran. Coming to the next, Kuno National Park. So it is located in the Vindhyan Hills in the central India, and exactly it is located in the state of Madhya Pradesh in the Shepur district. And it was established as a wildlife sanctuary in the year 1981, and later in 2018 it was declared as a national park. And it falls under the Kadiyar Gir dry deciduous forest, and it covers an area of 748.76 square kilometer. And through this national park we can see a river, that is Kuno river. It is a tributary of the Chambal river, flows through the. So here in this map you can see the location of the Kuno National Park. So it is located in the northern part of the state of Madhya Pradesh, near to the Rajasthan. And coming to the cheetah and Asiatic lion reintroduction, the Wildlife Institute of India and the Wildlife Trust of India shortlisted Kuno as the site for cheetah and the introduction of Asiatic lion, because this Kuno National Park, the ecosystem is somewhat similar to the savanna and grassland, and therefore this will be a suitable place for the this population to thrive. And the next is the, like I mentioned in the beginning, the cheetahs were officially declared as extinct by the government of India in the year 1952, and Kuno has the significant potential to host all the big cats, that is lion, tiger, leopard and cheetah, and because of the the climate as well as the landforms. And currently this leopard and the striped hyena are the only larger carnivores found in the Kuno National Park. And now the government of India is developing another wildlife sanctuary as a second home to the Asiatic lions, known as the Kunopalpur Wildlife Sanctuary. Later we will transport this Asiatic lions to this wildlife sanctuary. There we can expect better development of the Asiatic lion population. So in this topic we discussed certain facts about the Kuno National Park and the cheetah. So based on this, try to answer this prelims practice question. The question is, consider the following statements. Statement 1, Asiatic cheetah is listed in Schedule 2 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Statement 2, Project Cheetah aims to establish African cheetahs in India where the Asiatic subspecies were extinct. Which of the following statements is or are correct? Option A, 1 only, option B, 2 only, option C, both 1 and 2, and option D, neither 1 nor 2. See, here the correct answer is option B, 2 only. The statement 1 is incorrect because the Asiatic cheetah is listed in Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act in 1972, not in the 2. So this Schedule 1 provides more protection than the Schedule 2. Therefore, they are placed in Schedule 1. Here the statement goes incorrect. So therefore, the correct answer is option B, 2 only. So with this, we will move to the next article. Clean AI. The article is taken from The Hindu. Why we are discussing this article? Because recently the International Monetary Fund, they highlighted that the AI driven economic gain has its own environmental cost, because the increased use of artificial intelligence can lead to more pressure on the energy consumption. And that's why the Artificial Intelligence Action Summit, which was held in the Paris recently, called for a green AI infrastructure. But on the other side, we can also see that the AI became an inevitable part of the daily life for every individual. It plays a significant role from learning to health. That's why in the year 2024 March, the government of India launched the India AI mission to develop a better AI ecosystem in India. So coming to the report of this IMF, you can see that the report is titled as Power Hungry, How AI Will Drive the Energy Demand. It was published in the year 2025. This report highlights that the artificial intelligence could significantly boost the global economic output by 0.5% annually till 2030. But this may lead to a major surge in the electricity consumption. Therefore, the report suggests that there should be a balance between the AI-driven economic gain and the development of renewable energy to achieve the environmental sustainability. So coming to the next, we can see that the India AI mission, this was approved by the Union Cabinet in the March 2024, and the objective is to strengthen India's AI ecosystem through research, innovation, and wider application of artificial intelligence in various sectors. Through this, India is planning to become a global leader in artificial intelligence development and deployment while ensuring ethical, inclusive, and sustainable artificial intelligence growth. Coming to the major challenges associated with the AI-driven economy, the first is the high electricity consumption. That means recently with the increased use of AI, with the establishment of AI centers, you can see that the US witnessed a 9% increase of power in the United States. And at the same time, you can see the next major impact is the environmental impact, because to match the increased energy demand, we have to go for more mineral mining and water usage. This will bring more pressure on the environment. And the next is difficulty in scaling up the renewable capacity with the artificial intelligence demand. We know that the artificial intelligence demand is rapidly growing every day, and in that scale we have to, in that phase we have to scale up the renewable energy capacity, which is nearly difficult. And the next is managing the emission to meet the India's net zero 2070 goal. We know that we are committed to the net zero 2070, and we are pledged to make the economy a carbon neutral economy by 2070, right? But at the same time, on the other side, the increased use of artificial intelligence can increase the demand on energy. Therefore, we have to plan how we are going to develop a better AI ecosystem with without bringing much pressure on the energy consumption. So for that, we need a plan with a longer vision. So coming to the impact of this artificial intelligence on environment, first is the strain on energy security and grid. Second is the potential emission spike without green energy. And the third is rising cost for the consumers and industries because of the increased pressure on the energy. And the next is environmental pressure from expanding electronic sectors. So it can bring pressure on the minerals, it can bring pressure on land, it can bring pressure on water. And finally, at the same time, we can also see a lot of opportunity. For example, we can go for solar, nuclear, and tech cluster industries to manage this pressure. But for that, we need a better planning with a long vision. So coming to the way forward, so first is renewable first approach. That means whenever we are going for an initiative which enhances the technology or artificial intelligence, we have to make sure that the same energy can be regenerated through renewable source. And the next is explore captive solar and solar modular reactor near the tech clusters. And the next is green supply chains via PLI scheme. We know that now we are in PLI, that is Production Linked Incentive Scheme 2.0, right? And now the government had made it mandatory for certain industries to use the recycled rare earth minerals. So this will reduce the pressure on the environment. And the next is promote sustainable mining practices. For example, we have biomining, we can use that. At the same time, we have to go through proper environment impact assessment before going for large scale mega projects. And the next is emission management for the net zero 2070. We know that we are committed to the net zero 2070, and for that we need to plan how we are going to meet the energy demand without compromising the environmental sustainability. And the next is frame green AI investment policies. So that will also that will ensure a balance between the AI development and the green development. So let's practice a mains question. The question is, in the age of AI driven algorithms and Gen Z dependency, where cognitive skill risk atrophy and the sustainability concerns deepening through resource heavy models like water intensive cooling, critically analyze how India can balance artificial intelligence advancement with environmental and human resilience imperatives. So this is a 15 marks question, and you have to write around 250 words. Write the answer and post it in the comment section. We will review and we will reply for your answer. Now it's time to move to the next article. Third UN Ocean Conference, opportunity to build consensus. The article is taken from Indian Express. Why we are discussing this article? Because the UN Ocean Conference 2025 will be held in France, and this year the major topic of the discussion will be Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction Treaty, or the Treaty on High Seas. This treaty was brought in the year 2023 with an objective to protect the marine biodiversity beyond the national jurisdictions, because the high seas has its own challenges like overfishing, deep mining, and climate change, and weak and fragmented governance. So coming to the question, what are high seas? High seas are nothing but the region or ocean regions that lies beyond the 200 nautical miles from a country's baseline. So look at this picture, you can see that this is a baseline. So from this baseline, the 12 nautical mile, it is known as territorial water. Here this country has authority, and up to 200 miles it is known as exclusive economic zone, where the country has the exclusive economic right, and beyond this 200 miles it is known as high seas. And still the regulation or the control over this high sea is fragmented and weak, and it has its own challenges like I mentioned before. And currently it is governed by the UNCLOS, that is United Nations Convention on Law of Seas, and it regulates the high seas, but that remains limited and fragmented. Therefore, the governance itself is weak. So what are the issues around this high seas. First is a weak regulation because there is no unified authority or a commonly accepted law to regulate the region beyond the 200 nautical miles. And the next is the overexploitation. That means the overfishing and biopiracy of the marine resources are high in the high seas. And the next is pollution. That means accumulation of chemicals, oil and plastics. These are significantly affecting the marine ecosystem. And the next is climate change. This includes ocean warming, acidification of the ocean, and loss of biodiversity because of these factors. And the next is deep sea mining. This can bring ecological issues and irreversible damage to the marine ecosystem. And the next is inequitable access. That is, the deep ocean mining research, everything is happening, and the developed nations dominate the resource which is lying in the high seas. So these are the major issues surrounding the high seas. So coming to the significance of the high seas for India, we know that India has a vast, coastline, and therefore, to ensure the marine diversity, we have to ensure that the everything is going right in the high seas as well. For example, the safe sea line of communication is vital for trade and energy. We know that nearly 65 plus percentage of the international trade is happening through the Indian Ocean. Therefore, to protect our economical interest and to protect our the regions that is lying near to the oceans, we need a safe high sea. And the next is blue economy. We know that recently the India is giving more importance to the development of inland waterways. We are giving more importance to the fisheries communities, and the government also launched the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampad Yojana to promote the fisheries, right? At the same time, if the high sea is unstable, then this can affect the objectives of India in the ocean and in the blue economy. And the next is the climate stabilization. We know that the oceans plays a significant role in regulating the climate. Therefore, if there is any ecological shift in the ocean, this can affect the monsoons as well as the agriculture, which is directly depending on this monsoon. And the next is biodiversity. That is, protecting the marine ecosystem is critical to India's environment. And the next is geopolitical influence. We know that 65% plus the trade is happening through the Indian Ocean. That gives India a very good global status in terms of trade. And to maintain the status, we need a stability in the high seas, and therefore to enhance India's leadership in the global ocean governance as well as in trade, we need a stable high seas. So coming to the UN Ocean Conference 2025, so it will be held in Nice in France, and this year the theme is to scale up ocean action based on science and innovation. This is aligning with the goal number 14 of the Sustainable Development Goal, known as Life Below Water. And the focus areas: ratifying and implementing the High Seas Treaty, which was brought in the year 2023, and promoting a sustainable blue economy without affecting the marine ecosystem or the marine organism. And the next is tackle marine pollution through controlling the oil, chemical, as well as the plastics. And finally, supporting finance and tech transfer for better marine conservation. And finally, addressing climate ocean linkages like acidification and sea level rise. So these are the major focus area for this year's UN Ocean Conference 2025. So coming to the mains practice question, the question is: the high seas are crucial for ecological balance and economic growth, yet remain one of the least governed area. Discuss the issues associated with the governance of the high seas and suggest measures to ensure equitable and sustainable use with a special reference to India's interest. So it's a 15 marks question and you have to write around 250 words. Write the answer and post it in the comment section. We will review and we will reply for your answer. With this, we are coming to the conclusion for today's current affair analysis. If you like the video, hit the like button, give your feedbacks as comments, and share this content with your friends. And before leaving this channel, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time update from Shankar IAS Academy. Thank you. Have a nice day.